with you here on a beautiful Thursday morning in Western New York. This whole week has been glorious. Our spring has finally sprung, and so it's a lovely, lovely day out, but I am rushy again. I've been talking about this all week. It's not as bad as it was a week ago, and certainly this past weekend and all of that, but I guess it's just because it's the end of the semester and I've got lots of emails to deal with and students writing me with issues that they're having trying to complete their final projects and just finalizing things like that. I feel very rushed, and I'm on the reference desk in 18 minutes. So I'm going to keep this as a concise version of Tea Time with Tiffany as best I can, since I want to finish up a few other things before I have to run down there. But I always look forward to recording these. I hope that you all enjoy them and see a benefit to subscribing or watching them or whatever you choose to do every week. I do feel like it's a different way of communicating, and I'm able to, I don't know, just talk to you in a different way than if I was writing a post. So now, if you have any thoughts about Tea Time with Tiffany and suggestions, I'd love to hear them. So send them in. But at any rate, what's going on with me? So, housekeeping. Today is a day within the novena of St. Gianna Beretta, working mother and wife who died in the 1950s or early 60s. And I was supposed to start on the 19th, and I forgot. I told you about it on the 19th, but then I forgot to pray the prayers. So I printed it and I started yesterday. So that was the 20th, and that means that we will then finish on her feast day. So, at any rate, I think it's fine. I'm not concerned. But I hope that if you wanted to pray along, you started either the 19th or the 20th. But if you did forget that first day like me, or honestly, even if you're just hearing about this now and want to start today, I think it does not matter. So if you want to pray along with us for the majority of the time, then start today. I have a link to the prayer, and it's quite lovely in the show notes. So I'm working on that. I'm still also working on the 54-day Rosary Novena that goes through May 13th. So we're more than halfway through. I know that there's a handful of us praying that, and that's been going very swimmingly, very nice. And I had mentioned that, during this Easter season, I was trying to be just more like self-aware or something in terms of my spiritual life. And I mentioned in my Catholic Mom piece this month that I wanted to try to get to confession more frequently. I went during Lent, and then I wanted to make it a goal to go during Easter season. I wanted to go already, since Easter season is still ongoing. I have not made it. And I really feel it. I really want to go back. That's definitely a change for me because I used to dread confession, but I still do a little bit, keeping it real. It's just a very vulnerability inducing thing, but I have really come to see the benefit of it. And so I feel anxious in a good way to get back. So I'm going to try to do that coming up here. So if any of you want to join me in that endeavor, let's be anxious about it together. So that's kind of where I'm at, and it's a good place. I feel good. It's just so busy, and it's making it difficult for me to focus on any one thing, which I don't like. I think some of it is self-imposed. I'll just keep being honest. It's part of my personality, but I'm just doing the best I can with it. It's the way God made me, so I'm just trying to do the best I can. So Mike and I have a couple of weddings coming up here for the next consecutive 2 Saturdays. Women in my dance troupe. So, one is in my dance troupe. The other is our dance troupe director and instructor's daughter. That's this Saturday. So yeah, it'll be fun. It will be fun. Our troupe is belly dancing the second of 2 weddings for our troupe mate. She asked us to do that, so that'll be fun. Not really sure. I've never danced at a wedding before, but I'm sure that it's going to be enjoyable. So we have that coming up, and Yeah, and end of the semester, final grading, all of that. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I had mentioned, a few other creative projects that I was working on, and I haven't been able to work on them. So that's kind of where we're at. But they're in the queue. So I'll be talking about those in more detail coming up here once I have time to work on them. And it should be starting in the next, like not next week, but the week after. So May. I would say May will be announcement time, and I guess I think I'm like leading all of this expectation into it that it's going to be some grand thing. It isn't, just to let you know, it's just a couple of small things that I'm looking forward to for the summer. I think you'll enjoy them too, but it's not like some kind of explosive announcement or anything like that. Just, but I think that there'll be fun things that we can work on together coming up here. So speaking of, dance, I had mentioned that last week, and I just mentioned, my dance troupe mates and all of that. So I thought I would just continue on with that piece of the puzzle here for today. So the summer, if any of you are involved in anything, any kind of a hobby or anything in the arts, I know sometimes things in the arts take a break over the summer, like theater groups and professional dance troupes take a break over the summer, but other things, summer may be your active time. So if you're involved in any of those things, I'd love to hear about it, what you're going to be doing this summer. So for my Middle Eastern dance troupe, this summer is our busy season. And this summer we have even more than usual. We have like monthly gigs at an outdoor artisans market, which we danced there once last summer. They asked us to come back monthly this summer, so that'll be great. It's right by the water, so it's kind of windy, and that poses some interesting logistical problems with regard to our props, like veils or wings. So we'll see how that goes. And we also have an open mic night, but it's part of a village outdoor monthly event. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's going to be once a month. We have the one big art festival that we do every summer is always the last weekend of July. We have that again. It's like the full weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday for like a 3-hour block of time. It's an undertaking. So we have that. And I think there's some other things in there that I'm not. Well, we have the Hafla. That's in June this year. It's a little bit later because there's so much going on. All of these weddings and things. Some of our members have trips and such in May, so it's in June. So we have that. And things are coming along well. We've got a bunch of new choreographies, and it's always interesting when we do this because some just stick better than others. So we have this new sword choreography that's I don't know, but it's not sticking as well as the others. Like we're just having a hard time remembering it and getting all of the timing quite right and getting ourselves synchronized. And of course, it's dicier because we're working with a significant prop, which is to say the sword. And so we're balancing it for part of it, and balancing it as a group is definitely dicier than just if you're doing a solo. So yeah, we'll kind of see how that one goes. I'm glad we have some more time to work on that one because it just feels like it hasn't coalesced just yet. So we're working on that, and we're also working on an upbeat instrumental that I really really like. And we're not quite finished with that one yet, but what we have done so far is wonderful. I love it. So that's good. We have a newer veil piece that is combined with a newer ballady piece, which is a very traditional form of Middle Eastern music and dance. And it's very beautiful. I love that style. So we have that, and we've only used those pieces once before, so they're still fairly new in the repertoire. And we're reusing some things that we've used for a while, like our drum and a pop piece that we just have kind of nailed that always looks, and so we just hope that the audience is always different so they won't remember that we've done that one many times before. But it's nice to have staples that you don't have to really worry about. It's just like our instructor Claire always says, like Pavlov's dogs. It's just you could do it in your sleep. You just know it. You just we always run through them every once in a while just so that you don't completely forget them. But it's very ingrained. And so yeah, she says her husband, who comes and helps at our events and such, so who has seen us dance many many times, says he could probably do that dance with us at this point because he's seen it so many times. So we really know that one well. Yeah, so it's we'll see how it goes. But I'm very excited about it. But I feel like, especially because we've had members in and out of attendance because of things that have come up in their lives, understandably, it's hard for us to rehearse with everybody there. And so it just feels like everything hasn't quite come together yet. So it's always an adventure. It is always an adventure. And with the number of performances we have this year, it's going to be really interesting and fun. We have a new costume too, so a gown. We'll see how that goes. That are bright red. I love the colors, and I mean, just like any two colors that you could just grab out of the spectrum and just smash them together, they match in Middle Eastern dance because the colors are, it's just like bright, bright, bright. The brighter the better. And I love that. And so I've been thinking about what I'm going to do. We're always encouraged to solo. And so I need to pick music. I don't know what I'm going to do. Slower, I never do slower pieces, so I always think I should do one just to challenge myself. But in front of a bigger audience, like that doesn't normally watch dance, so a Huffle audience, a festival audience, any kind of another outdoor summer event audience, the upbeat pieces are definitely better because it keeps them engaged. And props always work well for those too. So I don't know. So I'll almost certainly pick something upbeat. I love drum pieces, but those are just a little bit more amenable to choreographing because the music is just, you can't improvise as easily because the music just forces you to be extremely well, just if there's accents and such, you need to hit those, otherwise it just doesn't look good. And so you need to have that planned out, and depending upon how much time you have in the lead up to plan and choreograph that all out, that doesn't always work for me. So we'll see. I like to improvise. So I've got to pick some music. I know there's a few of you out there that are familiar with Middle Eastern dance, Melanie. So if you have music suggestions, write in and let me know, because I feel like I'm like behind, even though I know I'm not. But I like to know the music really, really well. Even when I'm improvising, it's important to just know exactly what the music's going to be doing so that you can just relax and dance along and not have to worry about missing any important beats or segments. So I need to pick something. I need help. Write in if you are familiar with Middle Eastern music and you have some suggestions. I really like instrumentals. I love ballady, which is not upbeat necessarily. Sometimes. Depends on the piece. The troupe is doing a ballady, but as Claire says, there's never too much ballady. So that means I just have to avoid Little Ballady by Mario Curlis, because that's the piece we're doing as a troupe. But otherwise, I can pick anything I want. So yeah, if you know of anything, let me know. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's what I've got coming up this summer. What do you have coming up this summer? Do you have any really big events, weddings, graduations, sacramental season coming up? Let me know what's going on with you and what you're planning. Coming to our area in late May is going to be the relic, or some relics of St. Maximilian Kolbe. And I am super excited because, as you know, Henry is a huge fan of St. Maximilian Kolbe. So we're going to make a little pilgrimage to go see the relics. So I'll be talking about that coming up. So that's just another, it happens to coincide with summer. It's not necessarily a summer activity to go see relics, but I just think that the timing is kind of nice. It just seems like a lovely thing to do during the summertime, to have a pilgrimage like that. So what do you have planned? I'd love to hear about it. I'm going to get ready to go on the desk. But as ever, I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to chatting about all of these fun summery things that we have coming up. And I look forward to seeing those comments. And don't forget to vote in the book club. I'm going to put a link in the show notes again. So if you haven't voted already, I'm going to announce the winning book, if you will, the chosen book, next Wednesday. So do vote. Even if you've never read along in the book club before, I would love to have you start now. See if your library has the books if you don't want to buy, and then vote. You can vote for the one your library has or whatever. But I'd love to have you participate. So check it out, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.